everybody. My name's Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. Today, I'm going to just do a little chat again because I've been so busy. But it was a very strange day today. It was very strange. It sort of took turns that we didn't expect it to take, and I just thought I would share what went on at the doctor's office and whatnot. But anyway, we thought we were having just a quick checkup and whatnot. We were told that it had to do with the duodopa pump that we're waiting on. And so we went in. It ended up being almost a 2-hour appointment. And we weren't expecting that, but, you know, we were glad they were there to do it. But anyway, this was with a doctor that's in the same neurology office as my neurologist, but she is her own little specialty. And she's the doctor that does all of the people in Calgary that have the duodopa pumps. And so this was my initial entry into the program. So Claudine and I went, and we had a few questions because they didn't know I'd had all the falls and stuff. So we had a few questions, and we thought, well, we'll get them all answered today. And we went in, and she had a nice young resident that did most of the questioning and talking to us before she came in. And we also got to see Eric, the person who runs the program for the duodopa in the region. And so he was who had talked to us before. So we went in, and there was things that we found out that we didn't know about. And I've been unsure since I had the last trip into the hospital. I've been unsure because I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping my thoughts not being confused, and I'm still I mix up the day of the week very badly. And so I got a few other concerns besides just taking the meds. So we thought we'd ask some of the questions. Well, the ultimate result is, I'll tell you what we decided, was the doctor, Sarna, says, let's put the pump on hold. We won't say no to it, but we'll put it on hold because I have to stabilize a few things before they would consider me a candidate. So what I would have to have, my weight would have to stabilize. I can't be actively losing weight. I can't be too fat. I can't be too thin. I would have to be, show that I can maintain where I'm at. So that's one thing I would have to change. The other thing is the side effects. If somebody has neuropathy, which I have, the side effects doesn't happen to everybody, but it's a possibility that the neuropathy becomes worse. Well, that's the biggest problem I have right now is the neuropathy. When you can't feel your hands and feet, it's very difficult. And I don't think I want to take on the risk of losing that. She said, it's one of those things that you have to weigh out the benefits and the cons. And she said it is the exact same medicine as what I'm getting now. Exact same. But delivered in a new fashion. So it would bypass the stomach. So what I ate would not affect the medicine. So I would have a more even level, which is what I wanted. I wanted to have more good time than bad time, and I wanted it to be on the level. And it's still a possibility that I'll have the pump and that'll be the case. But she said, since we've changed the way I'm dosing, my dose of the medicine just changed my last visit. And she increased it by 2 doses a day. And I have not been able to make that change because it's too much. So I made a change on my own of just the 1 dose, and then we told her today this is what we've done, and it seems to be holding for that. But what we did was I usually have a good time in the morning, so we put the doses in the morning 3 hours apart, and then in the doses in the afternoon we added an extra dose, so I get 2 hours apart, and then to the evening, and then I take my overnights. And she says, with the pump, it would administer the 21 doses that I would have during the day. Then you would take yourself off of the stoma, clean it up, and do all that. And then you would take orally the overnight medication. And she said, right now she would rather, she thinks, keep it, if I'm getting fairly level, even with what I'm eating, because I eat fairly healthily. So, that makes a big difference. And she said that if I'm getting a level dose of that, then we might just stay on that, and that would be less invasion of my body to have to do that. It would also be perhaps easier on me. I do a lot of choking, so I thought this would take away having to swallow the pills. She said, you know, that the medicine can be delivered in a capsule that's maybe not going to do that to you in liquid form. The other thing is, they're not that bad tasting if you crunch them, because I've accidentally crunched them. But they're not that bad tasting, so you could crunch up 3 and put it in a spoonful of applesauce each time. Just swallow the applesauce down. So there's other ways of doing that. So we sort of left it at that we were going to do that. Then she said she wanted to know, my regular neurologist, had she ever talked to me about deep brain stimulation? And I said, well, she never really talked to us about it, but she mentioned that that's one of the treatments that can be available. But we looked into it ourselves, and I said, it seems to be more for people who have shaking. And she said, yes, it is more for people who have shaking, but it does have some other benefits. And she said, but she looked at my complete history, and she said, I do not believe that you would be a candidate for that. She said, because I have so many issues. Which, great, I'm a special case. Love being special. Anyway, so that was what transpired there. Now, we are so busy. I don't know how Claudine's going to do this. She's going to next week collapse, because she's just going to be so tired. And that's what I said. Next week you're so tired, you just take it easy, and I can putter around and get things put away. But we're going to make the move on Sunday, and it's going to be Claudine will take me over to the new house, and I'll sit on a lawn chair or something until they come back, Bill and I, and then they're going to go get the truck, and they're going to load up Claudine's big furniture, and they're going to take as much of her stuff as they can, and then they'll have to come and unload it, and then come back and bring my stuff. Or they might do it the opposite way. They might come to my place first. I don't know. But anyway, that's going to happen. So we had sort of thought at the time, well, we would put my stuff all in the house, get it put away, and bring Claudine's in piece by piece from the garage. But the landlord is going to be staying there for the month, not all month, but most month, to do some work on the suite that Ivy and Cole will be in. And right now he's fixing up the yard. He's putting the lattice at the top because Claudine needed the fence a little bit higher for her dog. So she said, would you mind if I put some lattice work on the top of the fence? And he said no, he didn't have a problem with that. But he said, he told her today, he said, I'm doing it. He said, I got it already. The lattice work's here. I'm cutting it up. So he's going to put that up. There's another little piece of fence that needs to be fixed, but he wants his dad to help him. And that is exceptional. These people care for this property, and I am so pleased that you're going to have a landlord that cares about his property. So, but they're going to be using space in the garage. So Claudine says my stuff will have to come into the house, most of it. And I said, that's fine. I said, we'll put it in the room that Bill and I will set up as a lounge room where we can watch TV. And I said, we'll put your stuff up there. The furniture can put out, and your boxes put in there, just one at a time. You get through them. So that's sort of the plan there. And got a couple of little appliances that I want to buy. I want to buy a proper coffee pot, that like not the Keurig, the one you can actually make a pot of coffee. So I'm going to buy a coffee pot, and I said to Claudine, a four slice toaster would be nice rather than the 2. When there's 3 of us, if you're making 3 sandwiches, you have to cook 3 times to get it. So let's do a 4-slice toaster, and we'll be fine. So that's where that goes, and I'm so excited. I can barely contain myself, to tell you the truth. I barely contain myself, but I'm trying to temper myself so that I don't get too excited, because it's hard if you do. But anyway. So she has a bunch of appointments. She had to go today, and it turned out to be this long appointment with me. Bill has to go tomorrow, so she has to take him to the lab and get lab work done, because he's waiting to hear what they're going to talk about for treatment. She has a cat that it has to be taken in and put to sleep. It's 17 and a half years old, and it's got very bad pain. And it would be cruel to that little animal to take her to another house. It would be just cruel. And so Claudine is going to have a very hard day that day. Wednesday is not going to be a good day for Claudine. She's also going to go and do a walkthrough with the landlord on that day and introduce Ivy to him because he hasn't met Ivy yet. So Ivy's going to go with her, and they're going to take care of that. Thursday, we don't know what's happening on Thursday. Oh, yeah, this was happening on Thursday. My wrist. They phoned, the cast clinic phoned and said, we want to set Darlene's appointment up on Thursday. And Claudine says, well, she doesn't have an appointment. They said they'd see her in 4 weeks. And they said, well, has she got her cast? And Claudine says, no, she's got a brace on it. She goes, yeah, she needs to come in and we need to determine whether she needs to have a cast on it. This has been a week ago that this happened. And they're now calling me and telling me that they called it fractured, not broken. But they might have to put a cast on it. So, and I can attest to the fact that when the brace is on, it holds it steady. And when I take the brace off, it pains. So they probably will put a cast. And that's fine. If they have to do it, they have to do it. But we didn't need it this week. You know, this was a very busy week for us. Meanwhile, I'm pretty much half packed. She's got me really well on the go. We packed a little bit last night, Bill and I, and he did some changing of faucet things on the shower that we had to change. We put our own shower head up, and we have to put the original one back on and take ours with us. But we could not get the other one off. Like, I mean, the one that we put up, we can't get it off. And I said, Bill, it's a better shower head anyway. So I said, let's just super clean it. So we got the CLR and we soaked it all overnight and it came out lovely. So we're just going to leave that and take the cheaper one with us. So we got that's on the go. Friday, I don't know what's on. Oh, tomorrow, yeah, Thursday's the cast clinic. Friday, I don't know what it is. Nothing Friday. So I said to Claudine, we're going to get our stuff, the rest of our stuff all packed up. I've made arrangements. I want the first couple of days there not to have to worry about food and feeding people. So the day they move, I'm going to do pizza and pop for the workers. And Claudia says we'll buy water and cans of pop. We've got a big cooler that she can put ice in. People can have water or whatever when they want it. And then we will, she said, we're going to leave the freezers, both the one I've got and the one that she's got. We're going to leave the freezers plugged in until they're ready to load it onto the truck. They're going to take it over and they'll plug it in. So, so hers will be plugged into the house. Mine will be plugged in out in the garage, I'm sure. And then when I transfer the stuff over, I can then clean mine thoroughly because I'm going to give it to Ivy. So that's that plan. Saturday we'll be just getting all our ducks in an order. And Sunday, fait accompli. I can't wait. Anyway, listen, I'm prattling on here. And so I'm not going to keep on doing that. I'm going to say goodnight. And I'll try and think of a good story for tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, talk to you tomorrow. Bye.